The most common misconception that you can't get a good workout in if you are doing just a no equipment workout is just straight up BS. The reason why most people think that is because they can't make the no equipment workout challenging enough, so they just throw out the progressive overload out of the window, without even realizing it, and make the whole workout completely useless. They just think something like, oh, I will do some push-ups and that's it. And that's exactly where the problem is. Yes, I agree. It can be complicated to create a challenging no equipment workout, but today I'm going to show you how to achieve that. Because we will be using no equipment, we can really progressively overload by adding weight. I mean, we can a little bit, but you will see that later. There are two main forms of progressive overload that we will be applying here. The first one is increasing the repetitions. Obviously, when we can really increase the weight, we will increase the repetitions. And the second form of progressive overload that we will apply is increasing the difficulty of the exercises. So let's jump straight into the training plan so you can see what I mean. Most of the exercises in this training plan are designed in levels. So imagine for example the push-up. If you are not strong enough to do a lot of push-ups, you would start with the kneeling variation, which would be level 1. After you get stronger, you can move on to the normal push-up, which is level 2. And after that, once you get even stronger, you can move on to the weighted push-up, which is level 3, which is the final level. Increasing the difficulty of the exercise is very important to keep the no equipment workout challenging at all times. That's why most of the exercises are divided into 3 levels of difficulty. The main idea of the whole training plan is to start at the level that is challenging for you. But then you might wonder, how do I get from one level to another one? How do I know that I'm ready? Well, that's really simple. You will do your chosen exercise for 3 sets, and your focus will be on reaching 20 reps in all 3 sets for that given exercise. So if you start at, for example, the kneeling push-up, which is level 1, and you are able to do roughly 10 reps in each one of those 3 sets, you will be steadily getting stronger and increasing the reps in every workout until you reach 20 reps on all 3 of your sets. Then you can move on to the next level where you repeat the same process. And after you eventually end up in level 3, you reach your final destination. On this level, you make the exercise progressively more difficult by, for example, adding some weight to your backpack. I will now reveal the training plan exercise by exercise, while also showing you different levels of progression for each exercise, and how to keep on progressively overloading even after you reach the final level. And if this still wasn't obvious enough, you choose just one exercise for each body part from all the options presented. You don't do all of them at once. You pick the starting level according to your strength and then work your way up to the highest level over time. So let's go over the chest exercises once again real quick. As I said before, level 1 is the kneeling push-up, level 2 is the normal push-up, and level 3 can be either weighted push-up or chair dips. After you reach level 3, you will increase the difficulty by adding stuff to your backpack. You can also decrease the rest times between the sets. That's also a valid form of progressive overload. And that goes for every exercise in this training plan, not just for chest. Alright, next up is back. The issue with training back without any equipment is that there is not really a good vertical pulling exercise. Because without equipment you don't have access to a pull-up bar, so you can't really do pull-ups. That's why in this training plan we will be mainly focusing on table rows. But if you got a pull-up bar at home or a street workout area near you, then I would highly recommend to do pull-ups instead. Or in the best case, alternate between table rows and pull-ups from workout to workout. I just quickly want to warn you that when doing exercises that use your furniture or other stuff you got at home, always make sure that it can withstand the exercise that you want to use it for, so you don't get hurt. The difficulty levels for the table row are as follows. Level 1 is done with your knees bent. That's the easiest way to do this exercise. On level 2, you put your legs straight, and on the final level, so level 3, you elevate your legs. This variation is very hard without adding any additional weight, but if you get to the point where you need to add weight, you can use a backpack once again. Moving on to the shoulders. The easiest variation, so the level 1, is the pike push-up. As you get stronger, you can move to the level 2, which is the elevated pike push-up. And level 3 is the wall-supported handstand push-up. The wall-supported handstand push-up is very hard. So trust me when I say that you won't need to add any additional weight to it. But if you want to make the exercise even better, you can add some type of blocky object to create a bigger range of motion. The next muscle group is biceps. Here we will keep it simple. There are not really any levels of difficulty. Just grab a water bottle or backpack once again and do curls. If you are feeling fancy, you can alternate between different grips in each workout. Really, the only limitation here is your imagination. After biceps, we gotta talk about triceps. For triceps, there are 3 exercises that I recommend, but they are not necessarily split into levels of difficulty either. The 3 exercises that I recommend the most are bench dips, diamond push-ups, and overhead extensions. These exercises are relatively easy, but when you do them after you have already done your chest exercise, it will be pretty challenging. And as per usual, if you need to make it more challenging, your trusty backpack has your back. Like, literally, it's a backpack. Now let's talk about shoulder isolation exercises. There are 2 options that you can choose from. The first option is to just mimic the classic lateral raise and the rear delt fly by using something like a water bottle. This is a fine approach, but over time it will become way too easy, because obviously the water bottles are pretty light, but if you got access to dumbbells, it's not really an issue. But again, this is a no equipment workout. So the other option that you got is to replace the lateral raise with this sliding towel door thingy, where you basically do the same movement as you would on a lateral raise, but you push your body against the door, a door frame, or just any other smooth surface. You might think that this is some ridiculous gimmick exercise, but it's actually pretty challenging. And the other isolation exercise that will take care of your rear delts is the sheet face pull. You set this up by putting a sheet in your door frame, and then doing the same movement as you would on a normal face pull. Now we can move on to the exercises that target the lower body. So let's start with quads. The level 1 here is obviously bodyweight squats. Then you can move on to the goblet squat or any other weighted squat variation that you can cook up. And for the level 3, you can choose between lunges that you can easily load, or you can choose to do pistol squats. You can start doing them by holding onto something at first to increase your stability. And once you get really good at that, you can just do them without any support. Now let's finally talk about hamstrings. Here I would like to put it into just 2 different combinations of levels. And you can just choose which route you want to go with. The first option is to start with the bodyweight reverse lunge and then get into the reverse lunge with added weight. The second option is to start with the supported Nordic hamstring curl and then transition into the normal Nordic hamstring curl without any support. And if you really want to see the world burn, you can do a mix between those 2 options. So you could, for example, start with the bodyweight reverse lunges and then transition into the Nordic hamstring curls without any support. It's up to you how you want to approach this. Then we have calves. Here it's really simple. Level 1 is just a bodyweight calf raise on an elevated surface, so something like stairs is a perfect choice. On level 2 you do the calf raise only one leg at a time. This way there will be more load on each individual leg. And on level 3 you will add in some additional weight while also doing it one leg at a time, so the backpack gets some action once again. What also helps immensely is slowing down the tempo of the reps and trying to pause at the bottom and at the top of the rep. Now let's take a look at the abs. The level 1 would be just basic sit-ups or plank. After that becomes way too easy, enter level 2, which is the weighted sit-up. So yeah, you guessed it, it's backpack time once again. Then you can slowly work your way towards the dragon flag, which is the level 3. Now that you know all of this, you might be asking, how many times per week should I run this? The answer might be a little context dependent, but a good starting point would be to do this 3 to 4 times per week. And as you get better at doing these exercises, you can increase the number of workouts accordingly. And a quick tip at the end, if you want to speed up this workout, you can transform it into an antagonist workout. If you are curious what that is, check out the video in the top right corner. And while you are still here, don't forget to check out my nutrition and training plans on my website. Link is in the description. And as always, a big thanks to all the supporters on my Patreon. Did you like this video? Then you will for sure like this one too.